Hi there. We are going to learn the second canon of Christmas for this, the second day of Christmas, which is St. Stephen's Day. Many of you might know that it's St. Stephen's Day from that song, Good King Wenceslas. Well, we're going to sing a canon setting of Acts chapter 7, verses 59 and 60. We'll sing it once for you in unison and then twice as a canon, and then I'll teach it to you phrase by phrase, and you can try to sing with us. Here's how it sounds. And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit. And falling to his knees, he cried out with a loud voice, Lord, do not hold this sin against them. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit. And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit.
Lord, do not hold this sin against them.
And falling to his knees, he cried out with a loud voice, Lord, do not hold this sin against them.
Were stoning Stephen,
and when
he called
he
out,
had
Lord
said
Jesus,
this,
receive
he
my
fell
spirit.
asleep. And as they were
And
stoning
falling to
Stephen,
his
he
knees,
called out, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit.
Lord, do not hold this sin against them.
And falling to his
And when
knees, he cried out with a
this,
loud voice, Lord, do not hold this
asleep.
sin against them. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. So that's how the canon sounds. Now, this is a 3-part canon, so if you wanted to sing it in 3 parts, you could with 3 different groups in your family or friends. We're going to just do 2 parts, obviously. So I'm going to teach you phrase by phrase, but each phrase is a little lengthy, so I'll break the first, second, and third phrases up into halves. So the first phrase, first half is, and as they were stoning Stephen, he called out. And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out. Let's do that again. And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out. Okay, next half of that phrase is, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit.
Lord Jesus, receive my spirit.
Again.
Lord Jesus, receive my spirit.
So the whole first phrase, I'll sing it one more time. You repeat after me with my friend Jonathan. And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit.
And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit.
Great. Second phrase starts here. And falling to his knees, he cried out with a loud voice. And that's more than half of the first phrase, but we'll try that kind of 2/3 of the second phrase, right here. Ready? And falling to his knees, he cried out with a loud voice. Okay, we'll do that one more time together. Ready? And falling to his knees, he cried out with a loud voice. Okay, and the next little chunk takes us to the end of the second phrase and through the beginning of the third phrase. So this will sound like this. Lord, do not hold this sin against them. Ready? Lord, do not hold this sin against them. One more time. Lord, do not hold this sin against them. Okay, and then I'm going to start on sin against them, because that's the beginning of the third phrase, and that will take us through. So we'll sing, sin against them, and when he had said this. So start on sin against them. Sin against them, and when he had said this. Good. Last little chunk. He fell asleep. He fell asleep. And for those musicians among you, that's just a B flat minor arpeggio. If it doesn't make sense, just try to sing it a few times with us. We'll do it a couple more times. Ready? He fell asleep. Good. Now let's start on sin against them and do the whole third phrase to the end. Here we go. Sin against them, and when he had said this, he fell asleep. Good. So there's a lot there. You may need to go back and watch some of those phrases a few more times to isolate them. But we'll sing it twice through in unison now, and you just see if you can sing along with us as best you can. Right from the beginning, phrase 1. Ready? And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit. And falling to his knees, he cried out with a loud voice, Lord, do not hold this sin against them. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit. And falling to his knees, he cried out with a loud voice, Lord, do not hold this sin against them. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. Okay, great. And the phrases start in kind of peculiar spots. So even as we're singing them, pay close attention if you're following along with the music as we are. Where you see the little 2, that's where the first phrase would come in when you start the canon, even though the second person, or even though the first part isn't singing at all. So we'll now do it 2 more times through in a 2-part canon. Jonathan will start, I'll come in second, and you could just try to hold your own with one of us, or you could sing in 2 parts if you can, or even 3. And we'll go twice through. So here we go.
And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit.
And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, Lord Jesus, receive my spirit.
Lord, do not hold this sin against them.
And falling to his
and when
knees, he cried out with a loud voice, Lord, do not hold this sin
and as
against
they were
them.
stoning Stephen,
And when
he called
he
out,
had
Lord
said
Jesus,
this,
receive
he
my
fell asleep.
spirit.
And as they were
And
stoning
falling to
Stephen,
his
he
knees,
called
he
out,
cried
Lord
out
Jesus,
with a loud
receive my
voice,
spirit.
Lord, do not hold this sin against them.
And falling to his
and when
knees, he cried out with a
this,
loud
he
voice,
fell
Lord, do not hold this
asleep.
sin against them. And when he had said this, he fell asleep. And there you have it. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're able to sing through it, and see you tomorrow for 3rd canon of Christmas. Thank you.